Despite all of the goals I have for 2025, I feel like I've been forced to realize that one of the things I really need to achieve this year is how to actually slow down and give myself a break. 2024 was chaos for me. I moved house, I moved country, I lost a loved one. And it's not that I thought that coming to Bali would fix all of my problems, because I've been to Bali enough times to know that that's not how it works. Usually Bali forces you to face all of your problems. But I do feel like the fact that this rainy season has been such a wet rainy season has been a way for me to be kind of forced into allowing things flow, move with nature, take the good days as they come. And also to just kind of recognize that the slower days aren't unproductive. Taking the time or the rainy day to kind of sit back and look at where you are, where you want to be, is productive as well. And also, you know what else is productive? Just making yourself some noodles and watching Squid Games in your bed while it rains all day. The new year kind of forces us to feel like we should be doing more. But having grown up in the northern hemisphere and now living in a country where it's rainy this time of year, I think it's important to remember that these slower seasons are about planting seeds, and that once upon a time every big giant garden started with just a small. And also everything in that garden is different and will grow at different times. Okay, first things first, I want to use this intro as a little bit of a reintroduction to me. My name is Grania, I am from Ireland. I'm currently living in Bali. I just moved here 4 months ago after kind of being back and forth from here for about 3 years. I've like now made it very official that I am staying here, which is like really exciting. But yeah, honestly, it's been such a weird, crazy few months. I just thought this was the perfect kind of video and time to like come back to YouTube. I've wanted to do this for like over a year, but my old laptop was like so old and slow and broken that I couldn't even use Premiere Pro on it. Last year I did try to do some video and do it, just edit it on CapCut on my iPad, but that was like probably the least fun I've like had in a really long time. So I just kind of gave up on that dream until I got a new laptop. I got a new laptop just before Christmas, which honestly, as a self-employed 20s business owner and who's just moved herself and her business across the whole entire world, like that was really scary, spending that much money on a laptop. But I feel really good about it, and like even just editing, like the difference that I feel, I'm just like, oh my god, like this, it feels like an investment into myself and my future, and I really hope that that's what this can be. For anyone who's like new here or who hasn't been here, or if you're one of the people that has been here for a while, thank you for sticking around. If not, I did YouTube for a really long time. It honestly used to be one of my favorite platforms, and I think that's why I'm like so determined to like really get back into it. I think for me, I have really struggled with the content creation side of my creativity in the past few years, just because it's almost felt like something I've had to do rather than something that has like came from the art. Especially like YouTube for me, I started making YouTube videos because I used to go to festivals and I just wanted to capture that, and then I guess I was just documenting my early 20s. And honestly, most of the videos on this channel like really make me cringe, but I still can't bring myself to delete them for some reason, as it kind of very luckily like actually started to become my job. Not so much the YouTube side of things, but more Instagram and TikTok, like when I was like actually then getting paid for things. It's so weird how like I was speaking to somebody recently and I was like, I used to spend my train journey on the way into work literally just like editing the whole time, and I never forget like thinking to myself, I cannot wait for the day that I'm like self-employed and like I can choose what I do with my time. And also it's so weird for me now that I like live in Bali and I have a clothing brand, because that is like genuinely been my dream for forever. It's kind of what I wanted to use this video for, is, you know, allowing these slower seasons. So obviously I grew up in Ireland. It's cold there right now, it's winter there right now. For me, this time of year although I definitely used to be someone who was very much like new year, new me vibe, I feel like in the past few years I've definitely kind of tapped more into the winter solstice and like recognizing that that's a time for like to go inward and like really like hibernate. And more so, like, don't get me wrong, I am somebody with goals. I have a business, I have a lot of dreams, and I like to do my absolute most to make sure all of my dreams come true. But I also think, you know, the winter time should be more of a time to figure out what those goals are. And I also think it's like so overwhelming. Like, I am not joking, the first few nights of January I literally didn't sleep because I was like on YouTube, like, you know, planning my comeback. All I kept seeing was like how to reinvent yourself and like blah 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 blah, and I just feel like it's so much pressure on what we're not doing as opposed to what we are doing. And I think, again, these slower seasons, so northern hemisphere winter, Bali rainy season. And I think for me, like I said at the start of the video, like this rainy season being so rainy, I genuinely feel like it's like the best thing that could have happened to me, because I have so many goals for the brand, and especially moving the business here. Like, it's for the week, moving your entire business to the other side of the world, and everything has to be like really official. And I literally feel like I spend every single day being like, I'm just a 28-year-old girl that wanted to make a few cute bikinis to roller skate in, you know, that kind of way. But it's also one of the most rewarding things that I feel like I've ever done in my life. And I feel like every single day I like do something new. I'm kind of like, oh, the season that we're in, I don't think I could have as much reflection if we weren't in the rainy season, because, you know, there's obviously other things that I want to do. So for example, before I left Ireland, with Subtle Poison, my brand, we always did like community events on the beach, and I was thinking, amazing, we can like launch straight into them when I'm back in Bali. We can be doing roller skate things, we can be doing surf things, we can be doing this, we can be doing that. But like, I haven't even surfed really. I've surfed once in the past month or so, because the surf has been so bad. I haven't really skated because it's been too wet. And honestly, I feel like having all of these rainy days for reflection, like last Saturday, which was when I filmed a lot of the clips at the start of this video, I was sitting there and I had just paid my taxes for the first time here, and I was like, oh, okay, like not only have you just like moved yourself and your entire business across the world, but you've also just like paid tax in a whole new country where you don't speak the language. I am learning, but I don't speak it. And I was just like, okay, like, yeah, like these things that don't feel like I'm like, you know, because I feel like, especially as a business owner, it's so easy to go on Instagram, it's so easy to go on TikTok and see people celebrating like 5-figure launches or making 6 figures in their first few months and like blah blah blah. And I am nowhere near those things. I'm not at all. But like, being able then to just like pat myself on the back for what I have achieved and the goals that I have, like, I don't think I would be able to do that without the rain. Even when it comes to things separate from my business goals, like for example, as I said, I've surfed one time in the past month or so, and again, coming here, one of my biggest goals is to get better at surfing. I want to buy myself a new surfboard because I sold my surfboard in Ireland before I left, and I was like, I'm gonna get one immediately. But then I was like, I don't know what size I want. I want to be riding a longer board, so I've been trying a different board, and then the weather was so bad and I had a few really bad sessions. And then even last week I went to surf. I was with my coach. We went to a different beach because the beach that I usually surf at was flat. The waves at this beach break a little bit steeper, and I was like a little bit panicked because it's a beach break, and I was like struggling to get out. I eventually got out. I caught one wave. Afterwards my leash snapped and I had to swim all the way back to shore. And then I was thinking to myself, oh my god, I physically cannot get past this shore break again. And my coach was like, you were so able for this, you can do this. And I sat on the shore and I started crying while the grown man beside me was like, why are you crying? So mad at myself. And it was also hilarious because I was like, I want to be good at this, like I'm getting so mad at myself. And also, last Saturday, after I'd filmed all of the clips at the start of this video, I'd also sat down and tried to do this part of it, and it just was not working for me. I couldn't do it. And that's exactly how I felt with the surf last week as well. And then I just literally the next day got my period and said, okay, you know what, we just have to do nothing about it. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to come into a whole new week and like start again. And I had a bit of a down day on Monday, and then on Tuesday I got up, I had one of the best surfs I've had in ages, and then boom, tonsillitis. And I was like so mad as well, because I had booked to go to an Airbnb to look after baby Jawa, the dog who is on the floor. Should I introduce her? Baby Jawa. So we had to collect baby Jawa from the vet, doing a little staycation. Look at the way she's looking at the camera. We did a little staycation at an Airbnb, and I was so mad because it was so cute, and then I ended up with tonsillitis and was on antibiotics the whole time. I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, so the dog gets better, but I can also do some content because it's super cute and I want to swim in the pool and blah 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 blah. And then I didn't get to do any of that. Well, I did get to do some of it. It was just more so I had planned, I guess, to do more, but even that I was like, okay, I'm just being told to slow down, and I obviously just have to listen to that. And now we're like a few days out of it. My tonsils, praise the Lord, are better, because that was like really not a fun time. It just kind of felt like I was like literally forcing everything. Even the sales like for subtle poison had been really slow, and I was just getting so frustrated about everything. I think even me like making this video is a reminder to myself that like you just have to like take a step back sometimes and like really just take whatever comes. I feel like I'm kind of rambling a little bit, and I really just wanted this video to be a little bit of an introduction back to me, back to my life, back to what this channel is going to be going forward. I really just want this space to feel like a bit of a hug, I guess. I feel like that's always what it was, but now I'm older. I'm like turning 29 this year. What the heck? I want to approach this channel in the way that I did when I was younger, but from a more mature lens, I suppose, and just really tap back into my like creative side when it comes to videography, because I like really miss that. I want to show the behind the scenes of running this business that I absolutely love, even if it makes me so stressed a lot of the time and genuinely feels like the most terrifying thing in the world. And a bit of fun. What we're going to be doing here, and I would love to hear if anyone has any thoughts or feelings about the new year, because honestly I feel like the first week I was like, let's fucking go, like I was having like a full-blown like Grace Beverly moment, but then I was like, actually no, I don't want that woman's life. I know everybody does, but personally I don't think she has enough time for herself on her hands. I just want to really make my goal this year and use 2025 as a way to like be building businesses in a way that feels like slow and sustainable and still good with my life. Yeah, did the most beautiful vision board again, because I'm like, I am very much like, I believe in goals, I believe in setting ourselves goals, but I also believe in taking the time to rest and not seeing New Year as this thing that needs to be like crazy overwhelming and make us feel like we're like literally losing our minds, because that's how I kind of felt in the first 2 weeks, and I end up with tonsillitis. I'm gonna leave you with that. If you've stumbled across the channel, you decide to join us, and remember to be so kind to yourself this week, and sending you so much love, light, rock and roll.